The Chinese Canadians who fought in World War II were given the right to vote in 1945. In 1947, the rest of Chinese Canadians were too. Obtaining the right to vote in 1947 changed the lives of Chinese Canadians because it meant that they could enter the professions. Racism, however, did not disappear. Immigration laws were still different for Chinese people, and many companies still would not hire Chinese Canadians. Chinese Canadian community and family organizations continued to offer Chinese language and culture classes throughout the 1940s and 1950s. After 1947, Chinese were free to pursue professional careers. The first Chinese lawyer was called to the bar in 1951, and the first Chinese member of parliament was elected in 1957. After the end of the ban on Chinese immigration in 1947, many Chinese wives and children were reunited with their husbands and fathers living in Canada. In the 1950s, the Chinese Canadian population grew for the first time since Chinese immigration was banned in 1923. By the end of the 1940s, many young Chinese Canadians saw hope for being able to enter into a larger Canadian society that had until recently excluded them. There were many firsts that occurred in the 1940s and 1950s as a few Chinese Canadians were accepted into jobs that were previously denied to them. Pioneering Chinese Canadian families moved into neighborhoods that had been for whites only before. Young Chinese Canadians struggled against racism to make a better Canada, overcoming barriers by joining sports teams, churches, and social clubs, even when there was lingering racism.